There's no need for it, and secondly, in most cases, it leads to a lot of negative activities.
Because it's not just, again, you dated, to standing on the corner, but I'm speaking of crime.
We're afraid to give money because the lady got killed.
Young men,
there's a lady, she was giving people money and somebody came and killed her.
Or another area outside the county, believe you me, that gun not going to deal with it. Because they get arrested in those other areas, that's done for them.
This lady was
It's done. It's a done deal. Now, they'll go around pushing, and again, I'm also on the sheet where I understand you have some young people in the city that walk around with a gun, and they're coming from work. And I'm telling you, I had it because, I got robbed, I come from work.
Sure.
And again, it doesn't justify it. I'm not justifying it. But I'm talking about some kinds of violent offenders where, again, they're carrying it out because they out doing what they got to do, because they out here hustling or whatever you want to call it. But once again, they're not Baltimore County, they're not taking that out in Arundel County, because they know when they get arrested, that's a done deal for them. There's no consequences. So it's outside of the laundering, again, domestic violence, just any, when you come into the city and
this lady was giving money and a guy came and stabbed and killed her a couple of days ago in Baltimore City on Valley. What's that, Valley Avenue, Valley Street? So this lady was just crying, holding a sign up. So
much thanks. It's 7:36.
she was holding a sign up and she was crying.
Joe, good morning. Joe? All right. Let's go pick up, let's see here. Is this Coleman? Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing? I'll make this real quick. I'm a Baltimore resident. I'm only 25, but from my standpoint, the reality here in Baltimore City is that you can't allow everybody else to continue to police, and you have the power to go out and vote, but at the end of the day, they're not doing what we actually need here in Baltimore. The people need to be able to protect themselves. The people need to be able to police themselves. You can't sit there and say, okay, well, something bad's going on in your neighborhood. You can't do nothing about it. If the police ain't going to do nothing about it, what can you do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. That's a problem. We don't even have simple self-defense laws here. And you're talking about this morning how people are randomly getting stuff done to them. When is it going to be about us being able to protect ourselves? Because at the end of the day, we can't depend on anybody else to do it for us.
Well, you just heard the sister who, to me, made an excellent point. And I thought I heard her say, Larry, that, because she has to go back and forth, that she has some type of protection that she carries. And unfortunately, that's what it's gotten to, or will get to, unfortunately.
But that's a normal right. That's a constitutional right. And yeah, we can sit there and say the 14th and over black and all that stuff. At the end of the day, these rights do apply to us as long as we fight for them.
I agree with that.
When it comes down to, we got mad crime, we got people doing this. You look at West Virginia, you look at Texas. I remember back in 2012 when I was in high school, it was like some shooting going on. And the news people was like, look, we don't know how many of these people are civilians or police. Because the police and the civilians was working together to go get that guy when he was doing something wrong. You know what I mean? Like in West Virginia, the crime is little to none to non-existent because people are allowed to, everybody has a gun. And that's not like it's unfortunate, like the bad guys got guns and they're not going to stop getting guns. That's not going to happen. And we're going to continue to hear about crime. We're going to continue to hear about our brothers and sisters being murdered out here. We're going to continue to hear that crap until we start saying, hey, let's vote in about our self-protection, our own protection. Because we get arrested for anything out here. I done been arrested for having my own protection and doing nothing wrong. I done had to go through that. And yeah, I beat it. It just took a whole year for me to get my property back from the Baltimore City Police. And I couldn't even sue them about it. That's crazy. It's some of this gangster mentality and don't nobody care. So people who do care, we got to individually do our part.
Appreciate you calling in, Brother Coleman. There was I can't remember, a few years ago, dealing with the National Rifle Association. And someone said that if Black America decided to adopt a policy that every one of us would get guns,
oh, ain't no question,
the National Rifle Association would switch the policy.
They sure would.
If you think about that, I wish I could. I would like to give credit to the person who made that statement. I know it's one of the heated discussions that was going on about guns, and somebody said, I want to say it was Dick Gregory. For some reason in my spirit, Dick Gregory's name comes to place. But that statement was made, and it's true. If we were to put in place that every black American could go ahead and go get a gun, man, the Nice Rifle Association would change up quick. Better believe that.
Call Belvedere. Charles, call Belvedere. Miss Brown was looking for you, Charles.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir.
You know, I was listening to about this. Coach made a very valid point when he says, you drive through this city, these guys, they're standing out there like it's a renaissance. Now, on the other hand, you have the Baltimore City Police. They see them out there. No one stops and get out the car and do a FII, which is a field interview. Because let me tell you something. When you do FII, you don't have to lock them up. You're getting information. 9 times out of 10 they're gonna lie to you, but I guarantee you, you pull that same person up 2 days later, he's gonna give you another story about who he is and his identity. Now, you could say to him, well, 2 days ago you said your name was Lance Boone. But today you're telling me your name is Harry Reid. Now I'm going to have to lock you up because I don't know who you are. So to get you identified, I'm going to have to place you on the arrest for laundering. And that's a valid law. I'm going to place you on the arrest for laundering. Now, what you have is your valid reason for locking them up because you've done a field interview on this person and he lied to you time and time again. You take him down there, you get him printed. Guess what? His true identity gonna come up. Probably got running from the law. So that's where the police department is failing. They do not get out those cars, and that is active community police. You don't have to lock them up right away, but down the line you're gonna have to. Because you have to identify this person. This person will lie to you over and over again about their identity. Where's your wallet? I don't have one. You understand? But, okay, I'm not going to lock you up right now. But when I come through here again and see you, talk to you, you're telling me a bunch of crap. Well, I'm going to have to get you identified. I'm placing you on the arrest for laundering.
Wow.
Gene, that's a strong one, partner. Strong one and true. Much appreciate you there. I'm sorry. That wasn't Gene.
That's okay. Good morning. Yeah, this is...
Here's Gene. I got Gene on my mind. Go ahead, Gene. Joe, thank you so much, partner. Appreciate your call. Gene?
Listen to this. So, this is what happens in the county. You get, and in Washington, D.C. Remember, Coach, I asked you to check out what happens in D.C. when you get arrested. The judge has the option of putting you in a program, right? And he doesn't have to arrest you. He could send you home, give you a court date. In Baltimore City, if they lock you up, you have to get a bail. And most of the people who are locked up cannot get bail. They can't make bail. They stay in jail for 3, 6, 9 months, a year, waiting for trial, and then when the trial comes up, they dismiss it. It's too expensive to lock them up. That's why they don't lock them up in Baltimore. It's that simple. I just got through listening to Brian Frost, a recording of when Brian Frost came in and you guys interviewed him about the HBC. Well, it wasn't about HBCUs, but when he was running for office and he ran on the post, of course, in the primary. But he spelled it out. It's like he said, and I said this once to you, Coach. They lock them up. They used to lock them up for urinating in alleys and or disorderly conduct or just vagrancy or whatever. But now it's just too expensive. It's impossible in Baltimore to do it. They're not going to get them in rehab. They're not going to put them in rehab. We know it's a mental health problem. We know they're addicted to drugs. We're not going to get them help, and they're not going to put them in jail for a year for the taxpayers to pay for them sitting in jail.
Yeah, but they can clean. Yeah, you don't have to lock them up, but they can keep them moving.
No, well, you have to charge them, and if you charge them, then you have to lock them up. You can't. What you gonna like? You're gonna put them in a position, ride them around.
But you have to do something. You would admit to that.
Yes, we have to do something, which is deal with the problem, which is drug addiction.
Okay,
and, people who are mentally ill.
Let's do something, but you cannot have.
You can't get them a job. They can't work. Nobody's going to hire them.
Something has to happen.
They don't have a home to go to.
Something has to happen.
At some point, we have to be real. I know you have a job. You do a good job at it.
Something has to happen. Okay? You cannot.
Let's explain what has to happen. We have to change the system in Baltimore.
Okay, well, let's do that. Let's
11:45 here on 1010 WOLD.
Folks, what's the formula with people out here don't have nowhere to go? What is the formula for homeless people? What is the formula? What is the solution? What are y'all going to do? Only thing I can think of is lower the rent. Lower the rent. You know, $1,200 a month for what? Lower the rent. $1 a month. Come on, man. $1 a month. You get put out for $1, you need to be put out. Just lower the rent for $1. We'll clean up a lot of homeless people. Shoot. $1 a house. Come on now. Talk to me, folks. That's the solution. That's the problem. That's the formula. Let's give me $1,000 homes out there. Baltimore City government, whoever. City mayor, the governor, state senate. Yeah, invest in Larry the Celebrity Cab Driver, 1,000 homes for $1 a month. I'd clean up this area. And if they're not getting together, they get put back out in the streets. You know, they doing drugs and all that, get caught. Just go to a rehabilitation. Then if you fail to do that means you really don't want no help. So just give people a chance. Hey, sometimes people have to go to the bottom of the barrel. They have to hit rock bottom in order to wake up and smell the coffee. Sometimes you're not going to wake up. You might be 6 foot under. I'm telling you, if you don't improve your life, if you don't straighten up, it's only, I'm saying jail and the grave. But when you get out to jail and then you continue, I mean, you come out of jail, you get on this stuff out here, this stuff puts you out. I mean, this stuff is a joke out here. You got a clean body, you recovering, let's stay clean. I've been clean and sober for since 1997. You know, I mean, I'm over the hump now. I mean, I know it's one day at a time, but what keep me clean and sober, folks, like I just told you, 1997, right? Wow. I mean, I got to add up the years. That's how many years it is. It's about probably 20 or almost 21, but I don't want to say I've been clean and sober for 1 week. I know it's one day at a time, but I'm in the years now. I'm in decades, 2 decades. So, you know, thank God. God is my witness. But I feel good to be clean and sober. But you gotta hit rock bottom. You have to know when to stop. I mean, people can say you need to stop, you need to do this. That's why I don't even tell nobody they need to stop and this and that. They'll find rock bottom. They'll find out when they need to stop. They will find out when you need to stop doing something. You'll find out. I mean, because by you telling somebody, stop, once you stop getting high, once you stop drinking. I mean, people really don't like when people tell them what to do. So you got to learn on your own, folks. You got to say, damn, it's enough. This is it. So people come around, they get together. And if they won't get together, It's a place for you. So, I mean, I pray that everybody stop, but I can't tell people what to do. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. You can tell a kid what to do, but once you get grown, old, hard to tell them what to do. All right, folks, I'm listening to the Larry Young Morning Show. I'm Larry, the celebrity cab driver, 1010 AM WOLB. Now, I heard on the radio they say that it's not going on in the county in Towson. Yes, it is, too. People is panhandling in Towson, and they standing on the streets. But you know what? I don't know if it's any signs they have in their hand. They just standing out and letting people give them money. But just to have a sign saying this, that, and the fourth, I don't know. But if I do see it, folks, I will Facebook Live it. Yes, I will. Okay, I'm listening to Larry.
I was wrong. It was not the very distinguished Mr. That I thought it was. It was Wendell Pierce. Wendell Pierce. He appeared in the TV series The Wire.
The Wire. Yeah.
And he made this statement, quote, "If every black male 18 to 25 applied for a concealed and carry permit and then joined the NRA, in one day there would be gun control laws in a second." And he is so right. That's all it would take. That's all it would take. Yes, indeed. Okay, let me get back to the folks who want to share how they would like to see things done. And I think the coach put up a interesting challenge. Yesterday I was driving on one of the major traffic ways, and not on the corner this time because of some construction, but in the middle of the block at 9:45 at night. Why were you looking at anywhere between 7 and 8 guys in the middle of the block? They were smoking and conversing, and from what I could see, there was no just doing that. When the light changed, we drove on by, but I don't know. Okay. David, what you think?
David.
Yeah, good morning. Well, that the statement that you made about the concealed carry, I was surprised, though, if you do a breakdown of the NRA, because they had posted this about a number of African Americans, so that's members, you'd really be surprised to see how high that number is. And then also there is an organization, it's called the Black Gun Owners Association, which is growing tremendously, and you can get JJ to research that for you. But they are also out there promoting gun safety and also giving out information concerning concealed carry. But as far as the loitering and the guys on the corner, the female caller a few back was absolutely right. Those guys know that if they come down to central booking, number one, if they do spend any time down there and can't make bail, then they know that when they do get to court, it'll be, okay, we'll just give them credit for time served because the system is so backed up in Baltimore City, so then they'll go ahead and walk. The other thing is that since there's been the dissent decree, and of course you needed some police reform, but the government went extreme the other way now, there's certain things that police cannot do.
You're right.
There's certain things that when police used to come by the corner, they could enforce loitering laws. Guys would see the police car coming, they'd move automatically because they know they would get locked up. Well, now they can't do that anymore. So people can call all they want to, but now that cannot be enforced. Just like there's a city ordinance concerning panhandling. Well, guys who used to panhandle on the corner, they see a uniformed car coming, they would leave. Well, now they know that the police are not going to lock them up for panhandling, because you did have organizations that came in during the dissent decree, like DOJ and ACLU, who, of course, those people don't even live nowhere near Pennsy and North. They come in and implement all this stuff, saying what the police can't do. And so now these guys know that. And if you're ever out on the corner when the police do ride by, you know, they'll say something smart to the officers, like, hey, you know what the DOJ say, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Yep.
And so the officers are not going to put themselves in a position to go through what the officers and Freddie Gray went through. So they're like, okay, fine, I can't do anything. Only thing I can do is just be present and try to be a deterrent or be as close by so that if something does go down, I'll be close to try to, you know, cool down the situation. But that's what you've now
right, Larry.
I'm not saying that.
He's right, Larry.
No, sorry, I understood.
Yeah, you got people out there pimping the sick degree.
Let me get to it's 7:55. Let me get Brown in here.
Brown from Sandtown.
Well, Brown from Sandtown. Well, the problem is abandoned houses. You can't show me nowhere, no county, where you have 40 houses in a block and 17 of them is abandoned. They compare the city with the county where this lottery takes place at. What are they laundering in front of?
Hey, look at that. Yeah.
Abandoned houses.
He got a sign.
Corner stores with boarded up windows. So that's the solution right there. And then when you dam down, you create empty vacant lots for more laundering and dumping. No home ownership. The police is up the car. I watch them stand on one side of the street while the launderers stand on the other side of the street. I can't engage them.
Hey, Brown?
Yes.
You bring up an excellent point, and Larry, not getting ahead of myself, but because of what Brown said, the only solution to that, unless the city wants to spend more money than what it's displayed, the only solution to improving that is what? That ugly word, Larry.
It has to take place, gentrification.
There you go.
It has to take place whether we like it or not. But this is the only way it's going to slow everything down and bring a change. Back to my point. Police said, hey, look, Brown, we can't engage them. I have to see them in the act of breaking the law.
Right.
They're not laundering unless they impede the sidewalk where people can't get by. So I just sit here and watch. See how it works?
Yes, sir. James, 7:57.
Yeah, good morning. I'm gonna tell y'all how to get a grip on this gun shooting. When a new commissioner come in, all the people out there keep saying all the police not bad.
Give me thumbs up if y'all can hear.
He need to recruit all the good ones.
Give me thumbs up.
He need to set up a gun trace task force.
So I can make sure y'all listen.
He need to be the head. He need to have somebody from the city council. They need to monitor these guys every 6 months. Maintain the status quo and go after these people. The gun trace task force worked. They were just corrupt. You got to start it again. You got to get the good cops y'all keep saying that's out there. Let the commissioner, he run the show. He get somebody off the city council, and they set up and they monitor these guys and go after them. Because giving everybody the guns ain't the answer.
That's for sure.
That's definitely not the answer.
That's for sure.
Because there's no self-defense law. If I go outside right now, somebody attack me and I shoot them, they're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And I ain't going out like that.
Thank y'all.
That's what they better do. If not, nothing's going to work.
That's called...
Because the cameras don't work in the black community.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I told y'all that cameras don't work in the black community. So y'all think that I'm just making this stuff up, right?
Well,
cameras don't work
for the thousandth time,
black community.
I have to answer. Coming from an ex-Sally. Well, guess what I have ever since I've been home for the last 6 years? A good job. I've been telling y'all, man, we need job training programs for these guys. Don't nobody want to listen. That's what these guys need, man. They need a good job. Get them off the corners. I mean, it's a whole bunch I know a whole bunch of ex-felons that's doing what they're supposed to do. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. They want us to stay down. They want us to stay being bad guys. Don't nobody want to give them a second chance. All us pay taxes. Uncle Sam love all of us, all the money we paying him. But this is what these guys need. So you give them some good jobs, man. Get them off from corners so they can be able to take care of themselves, fend for themselves, fend for the women, fend for the kids. You know, take care of their family. But until you get that, man, we beating a dead horse. Because being in Baltimore City goes extremely hard. A lot of people don't want to admit it. It's not like Chicago, L.A. Dudes in Baltimore is on a whole nother level when it comes to violence because it's been embedded for years. It's a way of life. It's a culture. So in order
that culture needs to change.
There you go.
That culture needs to change.
Exactly. And so in order for you to change that kind of culture, you have to give these guys something to do that's going to occupy their mind and get them out of that mind state that coach is talking about, that culture. And there's jobs, man. We need carpenters. We need plumbers. We need electricians. Utility companies behind all the time. Because there's so many pipes and stuff that's broken in the ground, there's jobs everywhere. But they have to be trained for it, and they have to know where to go get this information to seek out that kind of job. But that's
okay, folks.
Eric, you've been consistent about this agenda.
Thank y'all for joining me. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for listening to me. I'm Larry Wallace, Celebrity Cab Driver, reporting news live in Baltimore City. Well, I see you around town. Getting ready to drop off Mackenzie at work. Let's go. Late bell is 8:05. It's 8 o'clock now. I have 5 minutes or less to get her there. I'm about 3 minutes away. Have a blessed day.